barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. June 29th is on and popping. It's on and popping. We're doing a community give back. As I told you guys, I hired a DJ 2 days ago. We got 97.9 coming out. I want 100 black men there. So if you can be there, be there. And from this point on, I'm gonna put the flyer for the as the thumbnail. So don't mind that for the next couple of weeks, even if it's because you guys are like, why is that the thumbnail and the topic says this? So just so you guys know that. Moving forward, I got my Deontay Wilder shirt on. I bought it in New York at his store. I was trying to be the first person to buy one, but JD beat me to it, his coach. I saw him going to buy one, and then his team came in and I did an interview, and I couldn't pass up the interview with Deontay Wilder's wife, so I had to do the interview. But I was trying to be the first person to ever buy something in the store, but I fucking missed out on. But anyways, man, go support your champion. And you know, here's the catch. And I love being transparent on this channel. Before I get into what I want to talk about, is people gonna say, oh, you got the shirt because you're a fanboy. Yeah, but I've also spent thousands of dollars at Gucci for a company who doesn't honor and respect me. Now I don't buy Gucci any longer, but I still have a closet full of Gucci stuff, but I'm supporting something that doesn't support me. But here I am, I'm supporting the shirt, and you guys are gonna see the shirt and be like, oh, he's a fanboy, he spent this, he spent that. They gotta spend thousands of dollars on Gucci, unbeknownst to me being young and dumb and immature and not understanding really understanding the term all money in. You understand what I'm saying? I had to grow, I had to learn. So here I am now. I'm a better man. I'm still growing. I'm not perfect now. I genuinely want that to be clear. So anyways, man, moving forward, let's dive into it. So I was listening to Status Symbol 3 on the Victory Lap, right? And he says, block for me, Blak Man. You know they trying to stretch us. When you make your first meal in cash, you gonna feel the pressure. And I haven't watched, honestly, I haven't watched it, but friends and subscribers send me videos of people who don't like, who says, oh, you guys are fanboys, you got to watch this video, Fred, they hate on you heavy, they think you're this and that. And I haven't clicked on the videos, and I refuse to click on the videos, right? And I want to talk about me, and I'm gonna try and delve it into the realities of the boxing community. But first, I'm gonna give an analogy because I want to hit home, because how you get the men is money, sports, and pussy, right? And Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, and this is me speaking for me, right? I heard Deontay Wilder say that he dropped his pride for this fight, right? And we also heard Anthony Joshua accept the $50 million, and then Eddie Hearn spoke out and he actually denied the $50 million, right? He said, no, you're not taking the $50 million because it probably would have cut him out the deal, right? So with that being said, it's kind of like when I'm gonna use me as an example. You know, I was a really good athlete, but I was always short, little, you know what I mean? Had a big nose, I was dark skinned, I was kind of rambunctious. I didn't really know my worth. I didn't know my power. I didn't understand myself. You know, I was a little bit too loud sometimes. I was a little bit too quick to fight, probably because, you know, people call it a short man complex, but that's that chip on your shoulder that I've never ever relinquished. Not being short, but just having that chip of competitiveness, you know. And I've since been able to turn the corner with that. But the point I'm trying to make is, there were girls I tried to hit on in high school. You know what I mean? For real, the girls I tried to hit on, they were like, nah, nigga, I want the quarterback. Mind you, I was one of the best athletes in my high school. Top 10, I would say top 10, just to be safe. You know, they had track athletes, baseball athletes, but definitely top 10. And they didn't like me. I didn't get the girls in high school, right? College came, you know, I started working out, I started understanding. I got introduced to my first book, was the Stephon Marbury book. I forget the name of the book, was the first book I ever read in college, was the Mitch Albom Fab 5 book. and Stephon Marbury had a book about him growing up in Coney Island. Those were really the two first books that really I ever read, you know. And by the way, go read that Mitch Albom book. That interview with Chris Webber or Jalen Rose. It's been 20 years since I read the book, but it really hit home to me when in that book they said they have all these jerseys for sale and they're not getting a penny from it. That Mitch Albom book is fucking stupid from the Fab Five. Go read it. And I didn't get the girl, but now as I got older, I got more mature. I'm getting the girls now. I'm getting the money now. Now they liking me, but guess what? I don't like them. I've exceeded them. And the point I'm trying to make is Anthony Joshua was like that girl in high school, you know, where she put her best friend in front of her so you wouldn't talk to her. She said no. She shunned you off in public. So you had to go your own route. Deontay Wilder is going his own route. And now Deontay Wilder has the money, has the job. And meanwhile, the girl has gained 20 pounds and is in a dead-end job. The dead-end job is Usyk. The dead-end job is Pulev. The dead-end job is Michael Hunter. And I think that on the grand scheme of things, I know as a boxing fan, we get mad, we get angry because we want the best fight in the best, right? Who doesn't want that? But you have to be something before you were a boxing fan. You're not born a boxing fan. You have to learn to be a boxing fan. All right, what were you before you were a boxing fan? Were you a poor kid from urban America like me? Were you a rich kid from Richville, USA or Richville, UK? That's who you were before you were a boxing fan. And you have to be who you were born to be. You have to stick to your spirit, stick to your soul. And I think at the end of the day, that's where we're at now, right? We're in a space now where Deontay Wilder is choosing his path. And his path is his way. You know, and he has to win these fights. I pray to God he wins these fights. I will be at all these fights. But moreover than that, we have to celebrate black men who do it their way. Right? When the girl in high school don't like you, you got to go fuck other women. You can't just fucking hold your dick in your hand and say, oh man, I want her. I'm not fucking nobody till I get Tanya. Fine ass Tanya. Everybody had a fine ass Tanya at their high school. Everybody. If you grew up in the hood, right? Cynthia, Tanya, that little light-skinned hoe with the light brown eyes. Everybody had a Cynthia and a fine ass Tanya in their motherfucking school, man. And so we gotta go fuck other bitches, right? And Deontay Wilder has to go fight other niggas. And then it's gonna become a point when they're gonna cross paths. Deontay Wilder is gonna see Cynthia 10 years from now. He got a big ass house in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, overlooking a river, overlooking the water. He owns a house in LA. He owns a house in Atlanta. He owns a house in Miami. Meanwhile, Tanya got 3 kids by 3 different daddies. And now she's not only wishing she had a Deontay Wilder, but she needs a helping hand from Deontay Wilder. And that's what you gotta and that's what you gotta think of. That's what he's doing. And at the end of the day, I salute it. I support it. And Anthony Joshua allowed Eddie Hearn to dictate his future. Meanwhile, Eddie Hearn is from Silver Spoon, UK. He's not protecting Anthony Joshua's legacy. He's protecting his legacy. All right, his legacy comes first. The Hearn family has to eat steak and lobster every night. Fake ass Frank Sinatra daddy, remember, taught Eddie Hearn the business. If Barry Hearn, aka fake Frank Sinatra, taught Eddie Hearn the business, that means Eddie Hearn knows slave contracts, right? This is just common sense. This is just me trying to make sense to you guys, okay? All right, so now as I move forward with this, here's the message I want to get to all you guys. Nipsey Hussle said, "Block for me, Blak Man. You know they trying to stretch us." Sometimes blocking is getting out of the way. And I always want to use me as the example, because I always want you to know that I am not a perfect being, right? If I would have had this conversation at 22, I would have said, getting a college education is the right way to do it. You got to go to college, man. You got to get your degree. You got to do X, Y, Z. You know, Dre was going to med school at the time, and I'm fucking a school teacher, and I'm getting my postgraduate degrees, and Dre is in med school, and she's doing something I've never even heard of. You understand what I'm saying? But now that I'm 41 now, I've had a few experiences in life. I know and understand this. There's more than one ways to skin the cat. You know? Because if that's the case, then there's no redemption for a nigga that looks the same color as me that did a crime. There's no redemption for him, right? If a college education is the key and you vote and you do X, you understand what I'm saying? So I genuinely think and believe that there is more than one ways to do one thing, but we have to get out of the way. I had to learn to get out of the way. I would debate with people to nauseam. Oh, you got to get your degree, man. You got to do it. Get a degree, get in debt, do it the orthodox way. You know what I mean? There are far more men. There are more men that I know. I'm gonna use me as an example. He's gonna come on this channel one day, you know, and it's due to me not allowing it to happen. I have a mentor who's Sam Watson knows greatly. Who Sam Watson knows really, really well. Many people in boxing has met him, has gone to his house. Kenny Porter has gone to his house. The nigga has a 9,000 square foot mansion. His next door neighbor was the Bus family and that black man who has that mega church. I'm trying to think of the man's name, but I can't think of it, right? This is the guy that I go around every single day with in the truck. We go into Home Depot every day in sweats and t-shirts with dirt in our nails and paint on our sweats. The man is worth over $20 million, right? And the reason why I'm making him why he's so important to me, and why, oh shit, the charging station's right there. Why that's so important to me, and why you need to fully grasp and understand where I'm coming from, is because of this. He has no college degree. Sold drugs. Hustled his way to his first property and never looked back. You understand? Been with the same woman for close to 40 years. You understand what I'm saying?
500 feet.
And
your destination will be
at 22, if you would have told me that this is possible, I would say unlikely. I wouldn't say not possible, right? I don't believe in absolute no, right? If you know me as a human being, right? And because of that, his story is exceptionally powerful. You understand? He was great friends with Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas. He grew up in the 80s. You know, he did his thing. I'm not incriminating nobody, but you put two and two together, you know the life everybody was living, right? And, you know, Sam knew him very well, and they grew up in the 80s together in LA, and he and Sue turned his hustle into an over $20 million real estate portfolio. Let me come back. Let me put my charger. Now, with that being said, I need you to understand. All right. With that being said, I ran out of memory on my SD card. Now, with that being said, right? As I told you guys, I would have told you years ago that, oh, the way to get it is a college degree. But here is a man who has taught me how to accumulate generational wealth and no college degree. And one would tell you he's a far better businessman than I could ever be.
Feet, turn right onto Seminole Drive.
So the point I'm making, there's more than one way for us to be successful. There's more than one way for the black man to do it. Whether you turn a barbershop into 10 barbershops, whether you turn one apartment building into 10 apartment buildings, one nail salon into 10 nail salons, and the list goes on and on. But here's where we get in trouble. We get in each other's way. And I alluded to, I had to learn how to get out of the black man's way, because I told you guys in my videos that, you know, I vehemently thought we had to get a college degree, we had to educate ourselves, we had to do X, Y, Z to be great. But lo and behold, that game plan was to keep us docile, a big dosser. You know what I'm saying? So I want us to grasp the bigger picture. You know, Nipsey Hussle says, "Block for me, black man." You know they trying to stretch us, and that shit is so real, man. And but we got to learn how not to stretch each other. It's hard in this world. It's hard because we're in a capitalist society. You know, we have to be in constant competition with each other because of capitalism, right? And because we're in constant competition with capitalism, and all we know, many of us, all we know is those 4 square blocks. Because poverty has infringed on our living habitats, and more importantly, infringed upon our mindset. You know what I'm saying? And I just want this video to encourage us to understand the bigger picture. Sometimes we're not going to get what we want to get to where we need to be. And getting to where we need to be, I believe, in the sport of boxing, is taking out all these white calcites. You understand, that don't love and trust us and believe in us solely, and get rid of these men or these hereditary deficits, hereditary parasites. That's the word I'm looking for. That being the Hearns, the Arums, you know, because this went over a lot of people's head. What I saw when Deontay Wilder fought, I saw Bronze Bomber Promotions, but I didn't see Lou DiBella Promotions or Entertainment, whatever he calls himself. I don't know why. I don't know how. But all money in. And also keep in mind, this is where we don't understand either at all, is that we are living under a constitution that wasn't written by us for us to protect us. So there are going to be interactions with white people. You have to do business with white people. You have to do business with the enemy, right? Remember, not only did we work for free, but we didn't have the capacity to own the land or vote for the people to protect the land and protect our rights. So, I mean, so the trauma that we live with today is not only systemic, it's in the law enforcement, it's in the quote-unquote 10 commandments in the Bible, it's in the Constitution, it's at Capitol Hill in every state in America. It's at Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. So always keep that in mind. I'll be the first to tell you, I have white friends. They understand me as a man, though. I'm not going to not have a white friend and not have him understand what the hell I understand. And they can go on and live their life. But they have to, like I said, white people have, in order to for a white man to have a relationship, you have to give up your white privilege. And that's so hard because they come from the descendants of privilege. You know, my lawyer is white, you know. The biggest reason why I was able to go see Malcolm X last Saturday, the day Deontay Wilder fought, the biggest reason, because he let me borrow his Range Rover to go see Malcolm X. And this is how cool we are. I offered him money for the car. He didn't take it. He said, buy me a smoothie. The smoothie was $5. I'm like, for real? I'm like, that's a great deal. I'll take it. You know, so we're friends. So you're going to have relationships. You believing and understanding that you want your piece of the pie back does not say all white people are devils. Yet, when you get the chance to take your power back, your relationship with that white person have to say, well, it's fair. And that white person has to get out of the way. You understand what I'm saying? Just as I don't know the language of white people. I don't look like a white person, right? Right? So, I may need a mole to go into a business room and extract the information that I need to take back to my community. All right? And sometimes we need that. Right? So, if we see the big picture in this thing, boxing is one sector of this big thing we call life. And if we can win in boxing, it's going to spread out throughout everything else that we have in life. And don't ever let anybody tell you that everything isn't based off race. Everything is based off race. Everything is based off race and economics. The reason why white people are in charge is because of economics. All right, don't ever let no one tell you that it's not. Okay? I go through these boxing quarters every day, every week, every weekend, as I'm on my way to the fight now. It's up and down. It's highs and it's lows. It's people who like me, and it's people who hate me, or it's people who just indifferent about me. But here's the one thing we got to be as black people. We have to be comfortable making the ops feel uncomfortable. We got to be able to sit in the room as confident as we are around black people or around white people that don't like us. We always want to make the white person feel comfortable. You know, when the white friend comes over, when your cousin is in college, and we get the white person that comes over because they didn't go home for Christmas break or Thanksgiving, so they come to the black family for Thanksgiving. We want to make them feel uncomfortable. We want to make them, feel comfortable. You know, that's the baby boomer mindset. That's the first generation outside of slavery mindset. Boy, you better go get that government job. You better go get that college degree. You better educate yourself. People say have an education for a great life. How about you find a way to live a great life? Whether it's through education.
Take exit 94 on the right onto Beaumont Avenue.
Whether it's through education, whether it's through a trade, whether it's you hustling, turning drug money into legal money. You know, it's not many people in my family graduate from college, but I don't have a family of failures. Look at your family right now and compare and contrast how many people have graduated from college versus haven't graduated from college. You don't have a family of failures. You got a family of people who did it their way. And our next generation is going to learn to do it. We're always setting the table. We're always modeling. Don't ever forget that we're always modeling. All right? So continue to fight. All right? Don't be afraid to fight. All right? Because Deontay Wilder is setting a precedent that's never been done before. You know? That's never been done before. You know? Sugar Ray Leonard don't call me when he wants to break the news. And Sugar Ray Leonard could use me right now. You know? He's popular. But he still needs to build his brand. He still needs to build a legacy. Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns don't call me to break news. Next generation. Mike Tyson doesn't call me to break news. Floyd Mayweather doesn't call me to break news. Zab Judah, Bernard Hopkins, Buster Douglas, Evander Holyfield, they don't call me to break news. This is the first era that I've seen in my life where a Mike Tyson type figure, aka Deontay Wilder, is humble enough and gracious enough to say, you know what? I'm as rich as all outdoors. He got more money than me. He got more money than you. He got more money than the LDBC probably combined. You understand what I'm saying? And yet he takes the time to reach out and contact us. And I'll never forget, like, I'm going to go when he goes to Minnesota. I'm definitely, I'll by that time, my son will be 14, 15 years old. And I'm going to be able to go to Minnesota. And the one quote that I'm going to always remember about Deontay Wilder, he said he still haven't forgotten the price of milk. And that put my life in perspective. That put me in perspective. Like, hold up. You guys know I'm successful, you know, and I make a little bit of money. But you also know I want to use this YouTube channel to be a platform about us, to encourage us, to inspire, to uplift us for the bigger picture of it. I'm going to make mistakes along the way, okay? I'm not perfect, okay? But when he said that, it reminded me that, hey, no matter how successful you are, you still got to make sure that your footprints are big enough that someone else can fit in them. And if they can't fit in them, they can see them from a distance and say, hey, those are his footprints. He did it that way. I can do the same damn thing. All right? And because, now let's use me for, I've told this story already, so hang in there with me. If you heard this story already, I have to read it. My channel grows every day. 5, 6, 7, 8 years, I don't know. It's been some years ago, right? If I would have told you ESPN offered me a job, 70% of the people probably would have said, take the job, right? Yeah. By now, I will be well in 6 figures. My Instagram would be popping. I wouldn't have a YouTube channel because they would, because I would have been a producer. I would have been a producer on ESPN, and they don't like giving away content. You understand what I'm saying? So, so I think that by all means, it sounded like a perfect scenario. I didn't take the job. Granted, I had some systems in place, and it could have failed, but it worked. You know, and I thank God. I overly thank God, and I thank God that I trust my work ethic and I trust my intuition. Read the book Blink by Malcolm Gladwell if you're having problems trusting your intuition. All right, and if it hadn't have been for me going home and saying no, if I had to stay there and sign that contract, I'd probably be 185 pounds, 190 pounds with a little belly, working 16 hours a day. But if you followed me on Instagram, maybe I'll probably still have my Facebook page. You're like, man, Fred is living his best life. But I'm not working for myself. I'm somewhere in Beaumont, California on my way to a fight because I can. And I love the sport of boxing. I ain't gonna make no money on this fight. I just dropped $1,000 in a Nike store. I didn't make no money. It's the first of the month though. People paying rent today. But I'm not making no money on no fucking Devin Alexander fight. I'm doing this because I love the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? So I said all that to say this. He's doing it his way. You're gonna do it your way. Sometimes we gotta sit back and let it take form. Let it take shape. All right? And sometimes we got to hold our response back. You know, because there's always got to be a first line of infantry. You know, and typically the first line of infantry, the death toll is rather high. You understand what I'm saying? It's pretty damn high. So, yeah, I had to come back. Sorry, I forgot to delete my trash can on my phone. I'm like, dude, I just cleaned out my fucking my SD card. But anyways, man, I'm gonna leave y'all with this, and I want everyone to experience this. Please hear me out, okay? 9 out of 10 things I say on this channel, I never speak from a place of arrogance. I speak from a place of accomplishment, and I speak from a place like, hey, you can do this shit. Like, it's nothing. You just gotta have ISO focus. And you're gonna have bumps in the road. But anyways, I'm gonna say this. Kennedy was born, or no, let's say maybe 2 years ago. Dre, we got pregnant with Kennedy. we got pregnant with Kennedy, right? The nerve of me, right? And so anyways, so we had to adjust our living trust, right? I encourage everyone out there to get a living trust and make sure it goes. And
now turn left onto Canyon Springs Road.
We were going through our living trust, right? And mind you, you guys know the story. I fought tooth and nail to get Dre through med school. You know, everything that you would do to protect your child, I had to do that for Dre going through med school, just to give an analogy, right? It was hard. It was tough. I didn't know. I've never known a doctor personally. I've never known the financial sacrifice you've had to make this possible, but I did it, right? And simultaneously, I was learning how to hustle, okay? Learning how to hustle, learning how to make money, learning how to flip stuff, learning just how, because long story short. So anyways, so we're going through our living trust, and we have to make adjustments. We have what do you call them, the officer, whatever you want to call them, and we have to go through who we want. We had to readjust. We didn't have to, but we had to say, who do we want to be the heirs to our property when we die? And do you know who that person is? The person I told you at the beginning of this video, who has $20 million, no college degree, street hustler. If I die, or Dre dies in a plane accident, or whatever the case may be, and our kids aren't on the plane, he is in charge of making sure that Lincoln and Kennedy get everything that they're supposed to get. Remember in the beginning of this video, I told you guys I was a college degree at 22. If you would have told me, I would have told you having a college degree is the shit, right? Like, you got to do it this way. But I've learned. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm learning to have perfect moments. I'm learning to have a perfect mindset in small segments of my life, right? I'm not. You can't. It's hard. You know, it's impossible, basically. So, so I said all that to say this.
In 1 mile.
In your journey in life, you don't know who you're going to be inspired by. The genius thing about wisdom is application, right? Because I applied the next step. I did it my way, right? I mean, per se. But because I trusted that man who had 30 years, 20 years of experience flipping properties, I took the knowledge, and now he is the heir. If I die and Dre die, he has to give the kids the property. So you never ever know. You understand what I'm saying? You never ever know. So, and just to level up, this has never happened to me. Not never happened to me, but on this level, on this high frequency. People have told me thank you and I appreciate you this, I appreciate that. But we're going through the living trust, right? And we're going through, we have to write down what we own, our loans, our this, you know, the property shit. You guys have done that before. And Dre looked at me
now turn left onto
and told me thank you from a place where she's never told me thank you from. If you know someone in the spiritual realm, you understand where I'm coming from. I was like, wow. You know, because I did it the unorthodox way. I sold t-shirts. I sold clothes. I sold designer goods. I sold fitness plans. I sold, man, whatever I could put my hands on, I sold. I hustled. You know, if I knew someone had XYZ in the hood, read between the lines, I put them with someone who had XYZ in the hood. These are stories that will go untold, right? But you got to do it to get to the next level. I'm not saying what we do is perfect. Oh, it's unreal. You guys know what I'm saying. But for her to tell me thank you speaks volumes about her trust. And I say that to say we have to trust each other. to get to our destination. All right? I'm 3.2 miles away. Damn. If anybody's at this fight, wow. Man, you know, if you can see well, you probably can see in the background. It's amazing how they could turn a desert into a living habitat. Wow. Flight park. What the fuck? What is this? Oh, it's paintball. All that shit. Okay. So anyways, man, I genuinely love y'all, man. And I got to get out. I had to learn to get out of people's way. Do I watch the internet sometimes, or do I watch how people move in real life and be like, I wouldn't have did that if I was him. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have bought that. I wouldn't have spent that. Well, my $10,000 in my bank account is different from Floyd Mayweather's $10,000 in his bank account. You know what I mean? He got 10,000 10,000s. I got one $10,000 move. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at the end of the day, man, I love y'all, man. And I genuinely believe how Deontay Wilder outmaneuvered Eddie Hearn is a synonym for how you can outmaneuver your obstacles in your life. All right? Think outside the play. You know, Tyson Fury's white. Frank Warren is white. But he helped them make sense. In my humble opinion, Shelly Finkel was an asset to getting through to Frank Warren. Al Heyman knows what he's doing. Drake just bought $177 million private plane. People are complaining online. The nigga's worth probably $2 billion in potential worth, and you complaining about $177 million? Let that man live his life. Y'all complaining about, oh, he shouldn't have bought the plane. Man, let that nigga do him. So anyways, man, this is I don't know how long this video is, but it's in 3 segments. And I love y'all. I'm 1.1 miles away. I'm about to pull up, and I gotta put this shit in WhatsApp. So anyways, barbershop conversations, man. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. Genuinely love y'all. We support Deontay Wilder. I'm gonna buy some more gear, and I'm gonna give it away at some point. Hopefully if he has the fight here in LA, we gonna do it BIG. We gonna do it BIG if he has this fight September 28th here in LA. So barbershop conversations, man. I love y'all. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.